Hi everybody, this is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Thursday, January the 11th. As you could tell, a very windy day here in North Texas. It's supposed to get colder tonight as we understand. Well, this is a good day for a video commentary, isn't it? Especially when I'm going to talk about a movie. I had the opportunity on Wednesday to watch that movie, The Darkest Hour. And I have to tell you, it's one of the best movies I've seen in quite some time. The movie, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, is showing right now. I think it's only been out for a few weeks. The movie is about the UK. It's about the United Kingdom, England, in the spring, summer of 1940. As you may remember from your history, that was a very tough time for the UK. The Prime Minister at the time, Chamberlain, was basically dealing with a government that was collapsing. He had lost a lot of credibility. Chamberlain was, of course, the man who signed what he thought was a peace agreement with Hitler in 1938 or something like that. Hitler, of course, violated that. He went into Poland, he went into Czechoslovakia, and by the spring of 1940, German troops were running all over Europe and pretty much conquering everything they went into. The UK was not exactly doing very well. There were many British troops that were encircled by German troops. There was the possibility of very significant losses of British soldiers. So it was just a horrible time, an absolutely horrible time for the UK. In the spring of 1940, the government of Prime Minister Chamberlain collapses. And after some negotiations, Winston Churchill becomes the prime minister. Now, he was not a very popular guy, partly because he didn't really have a great resume. He didn't have a lot of success stories on his resume. A lot of people didn't like him personally. He thought he was kind of a hothead, just a talker, arrogant in many ways. So by the time he became prime minister, let's just say he was not the most popular guy in town. But he realizes very quickly as prime minister just how dire the situation is. He's also facing many members of his own cabinet who just want to cut a deal with Hitler, do whatever they can to, as they say, cut their losses and cut a deal with Hitler and look for peace at any price. And this is the struggle that Churchill is facing that summer, until he eventually says, no, we're not going to surrender. We're not going to cut a deal with Hitler. We're going to fight, and we're going to defend this island. And he just rallies the people of the UK in a brilliant way. And that's roughly when the movie ends. And then, of course, there's a lot more that happens after that. It was not an easy time for England in 40 or 41 or 42. But eventually the Allies did win the war in 1945. A couple of things about the movie. I really like the man who plays Churchill. He does a fabulous job representing Winston Churchill. One of my favorite characters in the movie, Mrs. Churchill, the lady who plays Mrs. Churchill. She's absolutely delightful. I mean, I really liked that character in the movie. I had seen Mrs. Churchill played in other movies, like, for example, The Gathering Storm. That was a movie made based on one of Churchill's books. But in this movie, she is just a dear character. I just thought she was absolutely great. There's also a young woman in the movie who is a typist or secretary to Mr. Churchill. She's also a very nice character. But most of all, it's a movie about leadership, and that's what attracted me to the movie. That's what attracted me to watch it. And I have to tell you, being the kind of person who admires leadership in leaders, I just thought it was a great movie, and I would definitely recommend that you watch it. I'm assuming it'll soon be available online. That's what usually happens these days. So it'll be around the theaters in the old-fashioned way, and then eventually it'll find itself online or DVD or whatever it may be. But check out the movie, The Darkest Hour. I think you're going to enjoy it a great deal. It's very intense. You are there on your seat for the whole time. There's not a boring moment in this movie. It keeps you watching the entire time. Great movie, just absolutely great movie. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these commentaries over on YouTube. We also have them at Twitter, and we have them at my blog. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day. It's very windy here in North Texas. They tell us the temperatures are going to drop substantially tonight, so hopefully we can do the show outside tomorrow. Never know. Bye-bye, everybody.